Alrighty, have another site this time, and got a thicket wide plot on this side. I'm up a really steep slope here. It's you can see all the degraded thicket definitely there. I actually don't know what happened there. I think that might have been degraded thicket as well, but it's tough to say. Well, that was all degraded thicket, but what's happening out in those flats there? Really, we don't have any representative samples left. All been wiped out by the goats, well, wiped out by domestic livestock more than 100 years ago. And anyway, this is a restoration plot. Let's just do a nice little comparison there. This side, that side, looking good. What I really want to show you, okay, so quite high up the slope here, and I tell you what, it's hot, and I've sweated like crazy to get up here. There's even a little bit of rain coming in over there, finally. Could cool me down a bit. But here are old giant spekboom, and there's been a lot of domestic herbivory on here, and I just want to show you, like, compare all the way down to the skirts. Yeah, we've discussed that, you've seen it in my other videos, but this is what happens with overbrowsing. Just look at that. There's no, the water just runs straight through. There's no skirt. You can see the ground underneath. It's lifted up from the ground. I mean, just look at this one. Check that out. You know, so this is the, I really need to just cover some of the basic literature that the 1992 paper, Stuart Hall, it just covers this so beautifully, that this is what domestic herbivores do. And you can see that it's even exposing roots at the bottom there. And it's not doing anything that I've shown you in other videos. It's not doing anything with what it's doing across there in terms of water movement. On this super steep slope, there's a thunder and lightning. Yeehaw! Super steep slope, lots of erosion. Got some more rain coming now, there's going to be erosion. And we don't have this ground cover that spekboom normally is. I mean, just look, just zoom in there. Okay, it looks like, oh, it's skirting nicely. It's not even touching the ground. Look, it's not doing anything. When water runs in, it's just going to run straight past. It's going to run straight through. This has now become a porous sieve. And let's just come and have a look. Over here, where the animals have been kept out for 10 years, these were unrooted single truncheons, 50 centimeters tall. Where's the water going to go? It's going to be trapped. Yeah, it might try and find its way around, but if it gets into it, that's all growing along the ground. You barely see any soil under there. I mean, I've shown copious other videos of it, but so even these things, it's just the way the herbivores browse. The indigenous herbivores, the kudu, elephants, all browse top down. Daco are indigenous, and they browse along the bottom. That's dangerous. But the goats, they come and they just sit there and nibble at this height and just take it out. I mean, it's just asking for soil erosion. That's all that's just going to happen. So even though there are plants here, and there is spekboom on this side, this is a massive spekboom bush, but it's not doing, well, it's doing bugger all, really. It's doing very little for ecosystem services. Maybe up there it's doing a little bit of silt capture still, a little bit, but not what these beauties are doing. One of the interesting things is that this drought has been so hectic that in this intact stand you can still see where the drought, you see that's a dead stem there, that's a drought induced stem. I found lots of dead stems inside this thicket wide plot. So the drought has actually still had an impact on the unbrowsed plants. And you can just imagine what impact the drought would have had on the plants with browsing. Anyway, just another site, another few spekboom observations. This is really getting on to consolidating the slope.